I first saw that person in a meeting. The man in suit and boot looked very jazzy. He was one of the top businessmen of the city. He was counted among the top businessmen of the city. I had gone to that meeting with my boss, Faisal Kamran. My boss wanted Arham Ibrahim to sign a contract with us. Was my boss? All the small and big companies coming there were wishing for this thing. During the meeting, that person was looking at me again and again. When I started telling him about my company, he was rotating the pen in his hand between his fingers as if he was listening to me with great interest. I was also trying to make a deal with our company. After the meeting was over, Sir Faisal told me that Miss Nayab, I will drop you to your home, but I refused. I said, no, sir, I will go. I was just standing at the stop waiting for my desired bus when a black car passed in front of me and stopped after going some distance. Then that car reversed again with the same speed. I didn't know who that person was. Inside the black glasses, I did not know. I held the file in my hand and took it with me and turned to the other side and stopped because that car was not in front of me. Then the window of the car went down, and there was that same person, Arham Ibrahim, in front of me. He started gesturing to call me towards him. I got very angry on seeing this. I came and changed my look, and he said, "Hey, miss, listen to me." I was being very bossy. I got very angry. Who is he to talk in this manner? The rest of the people standing at the bus stop started looking at me. Then he got down from his vehicle and, taking big steps, came and stood near me. He had both his hands in his pockets and he said, "You are the same Faisal Kamran's secretary right now. Just a while back I saw you in a meeting." I said, "Yes, please do so." Then he said, "See, the matter is a bit long. If you sit with me in the car, then I will drop you home and will also talk to you." I said, "Sorry, I am not saying this. I don't talk to anyone. I don't sit in vehicles and think, this is an inappropriate thing to do." Then, after looking at me carefully, he took out his card from his pocket and said, "Keep this, and tomorrow at 9 a.m., reach my office. You will go in the same commanding tone," I said. In this sequence, he said, "I told you so. That all the things cannot be discussed here at the bus stop standing here. You can reach on time tomorrow." "You will go," I said. "I am sorry, mister. My office timings are, and I don't meet anyone during office hours. I will try to meet you after office closes." He said, "Look, I am also very punctual puncible. What does 9 o'clock mean? It happens at 9, and it is possible that after meeting me, you may not need to work in Faisal Kamran's company." I said, "I have not thought about it yet. I feel comfortable in his company, and my salary is also good." I said, hearing this, a little smile came on his face, and he said, "Keep this card anyway. You may need it very soon." I said, "No, thank you very much." I did not take the card from his hand, but after that, what he did left me shocked. He grabbed my hand, forced his card in my hand, and went back. I was as shocked as I was. I had hardly any time before that I tore the card and threw it on the ground. The bus I wanted had arrived. I quickly boarded the bus because it stopped for a very short time, and there were a lot of passengers. I was also tempted to get a seat to sit, but by fate all the seats were filled. Then I traveled standing. That card was still in my hand. Perhaps this thing had crossed my mind at that time that I have to throw that card. Anyway, when I reached home, the same daily drama had started. My sister-in-law was fighting with my brother. She started saying, "Furkan, please come back to your sister as soon as possible. Get her married and make her move around the way she works." The neighbors start talking. "It seems that you are eating the earnings of your sister, brother." The sounds of Bobby's screaming and talking were coming till outside. I knocked on the door when Bobby's mouth was shut. She did not say anything in front of me because I had borne half the expenses of the house, but she used to tell things to my brother behind my back. She always used to tell things to my brother. My brother had opened the door, and he had just returned from his job, and he started saying, "Why are you late today?" I said, "Brother, I had a meeting today, so I got late." I said this and went to my room. As soon as I took my purse off my shoulder, my attention went towards that card, and I threw that card on my bed indifferently. When I came out after freshening up, Bobby made tea and kept it for me, but even brother was upset. He was quiet. I said, "What happened and what happened?" Brother said, "Nothing. But look, you are 26 years old and all your friends of your age have gone to their homes. Your Bobby is telling me that this time you have refused even the proposal that was to come in that relationship, brother." "Quite, they were asking seriously," I said.
Those people were against my working, Furkanbai. They started saying, then in my opinion, there is no harm in this. You should not work after marriage. I said, brother, I want to work. I don't want to be dependent on anyone. If there's a person who does not have any objection about my job, nor does he have an eye on the money that will come from this job, then I will marry him. I will not have any objection. And baby also knows the rest of the rules that I have kept. My baby immediately started saying relationships are not built on these conditions. Husbands never tolerate such demands. I don't understand such a thing. I don't come said why, when the boy's family can make demands, then why can't we? I will go from my house in just a pair of clothes. I will not take dowry, I will not leave my job, and will not give a single rupee from my salary to my husband. That's all I want. I have not made any big demands from my Bobby Furkan brother. She said, are you listening? Furkan, this girl doesn't want to get married. She just wants to sit on my chest to make you happy. So I said, excuse me. Bobby, I am not living on your crumbs, nor on my brother's crumbs. Yes. It is definitely true that my nephews are studying in a good school because of my kindness. I have never listened to anyone till date. Why would I listen to Bobby? If she did favors, I would definitely show favors. When I was earning on my own, then why would I be under the influence of anyone? I had been working for the last 2 years, and even before that, all my expenses were being met from my father's savings. 5 years had passed since my father's death, but I had never begged in front of my brother, nor in front of my sister-in-law. My Bobby's only favor to me was that she would prepare food and tea, although she was my eldest in eating and drinking. I was a tantrum. I was fond of eating good food, and used to get it for me. The fridge was always full of different things. Often at night, the laptop, but when I had to complete my project, I was used to eating fruits on the go. If I was in the mood at night, I would order pizza and take my 2 nephews along. All 3 of us would eat together. I was happy and content with my life. The life of restrictions seemed like poison to me. I wanted that no one should rule over me, and a creature called a husband is like this even if he does not have a rupee in his pocket, but he would impose a rule on his wife. He would think it his right to rule over the world. 829. And I could not tolerate all this. I knew that in this era, no one would marry me without dowry, though it was not true that my brother had not kept aside the dowry money for me. He would tell me that I am ready to give everything in dowry. Why do you have an objection to this? But I was adamant that I would not go with dowry. Whoever wants to marry me should take me with him in a dress. The next day, when I went to the office, the boss said, pray that Arham Ibrahim chooses our company for his work. Then our fortunes will be bright. He will sign a 1-year contract, and in this 1 year, our company will touch the skies. There was a strange glow on my boss's face. I said there were many companies which are better than us at this time. Then Arham, why will Ibrahim give the contract to us only? And he said I got a call from him. He was saying that tomorrow he just wants to have a meeting with us. And you know what it means. I said this is a very good thing. Faisal Sahab was very happy. He said, look, there is a meeting tomorrow and everything is in your hands. You give the presentation in a very good manner, so that this contract is given to us, and that too. In any case, I said, sir, I will try my best. Then I started getting up to leave. Then he said, Nayab, watch tomorrow. Arham Ibrahim has invited us to a luxurious hotel, so please come. Well prepared, I said no problem. I, anyway, knew all the rules of doing a job. So I dressed accordingly, and I was beautiful and confident too. Next day, my preparations were according to the place quite impressive, though. My Bobby kept on teasing me that you should have some respect for the neighborhood. Consider why you go all dressed up. People talk to me from behind yours. They point fingers at my brother. What should I do? Bobby, please trouble me. Don't do this. I had given the last touch to my eye makeup. I said, even if I cover myself with a sheet and sit at home, people will still talk. I cannot live because of people's words. I cannot stop living. You 2 listen with 1 ear and throw it out with the other. Allah has given 2 ears for this very reason. 1 ear to listen and the other to blow things away. So don't worry, do and don't take tension, saying this. I brushed my hair and had given a new style to my waist-length hair by layer cutting after getting ready. I was looking perfect for that meeting. Then I pinched my Bobby's cheeks and consoled her, and then came out. This time, instead of going by bus, I had booked an in-drive. I reached that hotel in the car itself, where there was a meeting along with lunch. My boss had already reached there and was looking at his watch again and again. Maybe he was waiting for me. Seeing me, he said, "You are 5 minutes late," so I said, "Sir, what is it gone?" Now the traffic doesn't move as per my wish. And do you know what is the traffic of Karachi? Once it gets jammed, it doesn't move at all. He said, okay, let's go quickly. Arham Ibrahim is very punctual. Anyway, as soon as I entered the restaurant of that luxurious hotel with Faisal Sahab, the man was sitting on the table in front. Seeing both of us together, he looked at his watch. Faisal Sahab was like, as if Arham didn't give him his contact, then his company would probably shut down. I don't know why the greed of rich people doesn't end. Anyway, I don't follow him. She reached Arham's table, shaking her steps. She stood up. First, she extended her hand towards Faisal Sahab. After waving to him, she extended her hand towards me, but I clearly refused. I said, "Sorry, sir, I don't shake hands with everyone." He smiled a little after listening to me. He smiled a little after listening to me. He smiled a little and then put his hand down. He said, "Have a seat." We both had sat on chairs in front of him. Then Faisal Sahab gestured to me. I told him my rules of working in the company and advice. To the extent I could try to, he listened to me very carefully. Listen. He was completely silent. He was the first person who had not asked me any question otherwise. Earlier, whoever I talked to in a meeting for a contract, he would definitely ask a few questions to satisfy himself. He said, "Faisal Sahab, I am ready to sign a 5-year contract instead of a 1-year contract." Hearing this, Faisal Sahab was delighted. He said, definitely, and I assure you that you will not get any complaint from our company." He said that, "First I will sign a 3-month contract with you, and every time I will have to sign a deal because your secretary will do it. I think that the responsibility of your company's success lies in his hands." Faisal Sahab said, yes, why, no. Miss Nayab will deal with you. Don't worry, but his style, his eyes were not looking good to me. I don't know, Faisal. Why did Sahab agree to such a big thing without asking me? And we signed a contract paper and gave it to Faisal Sahab to sign. He said, "If you want, you can read the Shara'i." He said, "Don't worry, we have full faith in you, and in these 3 months, you will not get a chance to complain." After that, Arham ordered food, but I didn't want to sit there. I don't know. What was there in his eyes that I felt a pinch on my existence? I said, "Sir, I am in a hurry. Office work is over. You can eat food." "I want your permission before Faisal Sahab says anything," Arham said. He said, No, please, Miss Nayab. Rather, Miss Gore Nayab, I have ordered this food for you. If you go without eating food, I will feel very bad before I excuse me and say sorry that I am getting late." Faisal Sahab said, Yes, definitely, I will eat this, Nayab. Please sit down, please join. I don't know what Faisal Sahab thinks. What nonsense did the person in front of me say? That he was agreeing with whatever he said? I looked at Faisal Sahab with sharp eyes. Those eyes were stealing my gaze, thinking that my gaze was for nothing. I was used to working according to my wish. Job was not my compulsion, and neither was it my need that I would listen to anyone and tolerate it. Even now, a good amount of money from my father was present in my account, and my brother was also keeping a lot of things for me. Maybe Faisal Sahab was in great need of that Arham famous person, because he was ready to give me money as per my demand. With great difficulty, I ate only a little food, because the piercing gaze of that Arham named scoundrel was making me feel like poison. I tried staring at him a couple of times, so that he would not look at me like that.
But on my staring, he would either get embarrassed or avoid his gaze, or start staring at me with determination, as if it did not matter to him, though he was very well educated and a good businessman, but he was a complete pervert. Anyway, after eating, I had come out. Faisal Sahab had left because he knew that I was sitting in a car with someone. I don't even go home, I was booking this in-drive only. When Arham came out of the restaurant, when he saw me standing outside, he said, "You should definitely not sit in the car with me." I said, "Yes, I will not sit." Without hesitation, I replied to him. And he said, Miss Nayab then said, "Oh, sorry, Miss Gora Nayab yesterday. I waited for you for an hour. I was with you from 9 to 10. I had a meeting, but you did not come and you know that in that 1 hour I had canceled all my meetings, just to talk to you. I have suffered a loss of lax." I said, "Yes, but I did not make any such promise to you that I will meet you or have a meeting with you." He said, "Arham Ibrahim, I am used to just saying, and my words are like an order. No one has refused me till date. I do not understand what that person thought of himself." I had told him my name was Nayab everywhere, though my real name was Gohar Nayab, but no one knew this name. Everyone in the office knew me by the name of Nayab, but the way he was repeatedly calling me Gohar Nayab, he probably wanted to show that I was surprised at his information. I would be surprised, I will express my feelings, but I did not even care. I said, "Mr. Arham, I am the master of my own will. I have till date never obeyed anyone's orders. If I did not want to meet you, I have even torn your card and thrown it away." He said, "You have caused harm to yourself. You have hit your own foot. Anyway, I wanted to give you a very good offer, but not today." Then he put his black glasses on his eyes. "Okay, God bless. I will meet you tomorrow," saying he took 2 steps forward, but then turned back and said that now I will meet you every day. I do not understand what he said, Pa. Why was I going to meet him every day? I looked ahead and the in-house had arrived. I walked ahead to the car and sat in it. All the way, I kept thinking, what does this person think of himself? Does he think that everyone is a slave to his orders? Whoever he calls will appear before him like a robot. If he thought that I will become his employee and obey his orders, then maybe he was thinking wrong. The next day when I came to the office, Faisal Sahab had instructed me that I should stand over the heads of the workers and get their work done. It was not my job. It was the supervisor's job to explain to the supervisor. And it was my job to explain everything. I said, "Sir, this is not my duty. I can prepare the design, and you know how much time computer designing takes. It takes time for me to do all this along with it." "It is difficult," Faisal Sahab said. "You don't understand how important these 3 months are for us. You just have to support me in these 3 months. If you support me, I will give you a bonus too." I said, "I don't need to say that. But still you are trying, see? Everything is on your head. The dining should be the best. All the work should be done according to Arham's wish. And please meet Arham at 4 in the evening. I asked him, what should I meet him for? He started saying that he wants to talk. It is obvious. You will make designs. That is why he wants to discuss. Look, I don't want any negligence in my work, Nayab. Ever since you have joined my company, I am saved from loss. Now only you can bring more to my company and me. If you work together with Arham, then please." He Multazim was around 40 years old but was not married but was not a pervert either. He just wanted that the company should work very well. It had been only 4 years since he opened the company. I had been working with him for 2 years. If he had not made much profit, he had not suffered much loss either. He had already incurred many losses because of me. He wanted to decide the destination of his progress very soon. But he felt that I was very lucky for him, and as long as I was in his company, I could not harm him. Perhaps the reason was that whatever work I did it honestly, and considered it my own. I also wanted his company to progress a lot, but this person named Arham did not like my nature. It was just the opposite. I never tolerated anyone's intimidation. But he was doing the same. He talked to me as if I was his bought slave, and I kept such people at the tip of my shoe. I said, "Sir, you conduct the meeting yourself. I will come every day. I cannot discuss with that person that what kind of designing he wants. And you know that in this matter I have never even heard of you, and you know that designing is going on. You know it very well, and I have never even discussed my work with you. I have never discussed it with him. What will I discuss with the person? If he does not trust me, then it is his wish." On hearing my harsh tone, he started saying, "What are you doing? Girl has gone mad. What are you doing? Don't talk to him in this manner. Please do it. I fold my hands in front of you. That person is in the closed room of his office." He had folded his hands in front of me. I said, "Look, don't do this. I am not feeling good, and started saying, you don't know, with great difficulty, this person has come under my control. If he goes out of my hands, then it will be very difficult to make 2 into 5. I said, okay. Anyway, I reached that person's office on time. I was at the reception when I told her my name. She said that you wait in the waiting room. I will tell sir. I said that my boss has set my timing with him. You tell him that Faisal, his manager, has come from Kamran's company. Nayab said that you can sit down. I sat down in the waiting area. With great difficulty, 15 minutes had passed. I used to leave the office at 5 o'clock and reach home at 5:30. It was 4 to 1. I went back to the reception. I said that you have talked to me. She said, yes, I have talked to him. Sir is saying that you tell him to wait. He will call you. I said, okay, but why are you waiting like this? My anger was at its peak. I told the receptionist to ask her boss for the last time what he wants. I will not wait here after 5 o'clock. After saying this, I stood there. Just 5 minutes were left for 5 o'clock when he came out of his room. On his face was the same smile full of happiness which was looking poisonous to me at that time, when he stood in front of me with both his hands in his pant pockets. He said, Miss, you can go. I said with surprise and astonishment what he said. He said, yes, Miss Gora Nayab, you can go. You wasted an hour of mine that day. It was today that I settled our accounts. It is equal. I wanted to ruin her styled hair. In front of everyone, I should respect her, so remember. But Faisal Sahab's helpless face came in front of me. His pleading face came in front of me. I had to suppress my anger. I looked at him angrily, and he was smiling at me. My body was on fire. I immediately got down from the lift and started abusing him and reached down in front of his luxurious car. But I saw him and said that today I will not leave him. What does he think of himself? I took out the pin from my hair and, hiding from everyone's eyes, started letting air out of his car's tires. I had completely let air out of one tire before I could let air out of the other tire. I saw a shadow standing behind me. He started saying, Miss Nayab, what are you doing? I was scared to death to hear his voice. How could he come out so quickly? Now I was not able to understand what to say and what not to say, but as soon as I turned and saw him, I was stunned. Because. Thank you for watching our video. Must like, share, and subscribe our channel for this type interesting videos. Stay connect with us.